the bar is subterranean now. It's got its own culture and traditions. The bar is so low. There's like a whole religion started around it now. Just like a whole bunch of mole people who now praise it. It's wild.
Who do you think is the first of these comedians or talk show hosts? No, the existing ones today, who basically just made their milk and honey out of Trump for the past 4 years. Which of them gets the axe first?
Samantha Bee.
It has to be, right? I mean, it's just, they're all so bad and they're spread so thin and their jokes are the same and they're so tired and everybody's, I mean, frankly, Colbert was very close to being fired, I believe, just because of his ratings at the time prior to Trump getting elected and turning so political. And, you know, and I mean, I've loved Colbert during his career. I've met him and he's been very kind to me and that kind of thing. But at the same time, it's like you became so one note and so partisan and so politicized, you stopped making jokes. And to me, I look at that whole situation and it's like, can we maybe get some good comedy back in here? You had Ryan Long in here the other day.
He's hilarious.
Who I've interviewed before too. He's absolutely hilarious.
Did you see that Instagram just pulled his video down?
Whoa, really? Which one?
3 days ago.
Which video?
It was pulled down, but it's on YouTube.
No
He was
way.
like, guess you got to go to YouTube to see my new video that Instagram pulled down.
Oh my gosh. But he's a good example of something, like, there's so many comedians who, and many of them are leftists, you know, but comedy itself is anti-woke in all of its respects. I mean, it's designed to cut people down. It's designed to, you know, make...
What? Comedy is about punching down? It's designed to make people feel like shit? That's not comedy. You're just a dick. You're just a big old dick. You're just a sweaty, shitty dick. That's all you are. But that's not comedy. That's, again, you just being a penis. That's all there is to that.
And to me, looking at this landscape of hackery, we deserve a show that actually makes us laugh at the end of the day.
I think firstly because comedians are smart and that these people have given up. I think a lot of people on the left that are crazy, and you were like, have they given up? It's like they got to a puzzle. It's like, okay, you get to a puzzle and it's so complex.
That's what I do
you can't figure it out, and you're just like, I don't know. And then you choose bash as your option and you just smash it to get through. And that's what they're doing. They're going woke and they're just bashing because it's the military industrial complex, the pharmaceutical industry, all these industries, the media, the manipulation, they're hearing different things, is so confusing to these people that they're just giving up. And then they're just choosing, go woke. Let's just go.
So Ryan Long's video was white women say go back to hating white men.
Okay, so it
was doing really well.
I had just saved that on my YouTube before I came over here today to remind myself.
All right, let's see this Ryan Long they keep talking about. Oh, this motherfucker. What? This is who they're saying is a comedian? Dude, Ryan Long fucking sucks. He's so painfully unfunny. Like, it really pains me how this is, like, blowing up. Ugh. Ableism in porn. My feminist mom.
In 26.
Okay, so yo, this one was banned. All right, this one was banned. White women say go back to hating white men. Damn, son.
We as a society agreed that white men were the problem.
Then in the past few years, some of that hatred started getting misplaced.
Fuck, I miss 2016. Yes, queen, and calling dudes all right.
This pussy grabs back.
Lena Dunham.
Tearing down the patriarchy.
Being sluts.
And we're repaid with articles like white women have a serious problem. Fuck off.
Yeah, we do have a problem. White men. I'll get it.
How white women...
Wonder if this one was a paycheck or a passion project. I wonder where that fell on the old ideological scale.
Women use themselves as instruments of terror. It's like the last time I checked, terrorists are white men.
We hated Jimmy Fallon for a half a second, maybe.
Michael Cera is definitely up to something.
Why don't we finish the task at hand before we find a new demo to hate? Is that crazy? Am I crazy? Like,
You wouldn't even know what a demisexual was if it wasn't for us.
fuck being binary!
How is this fat cow getting married and not me?
Oh, sorry, we took a few photos when we were literally building schools. Sorry for being helpful. Really apologize.
Us marginalized minorities, we need to stick together.
Self-care, therapists, toxic masculinity.
I went to every protest and I pulled out my tits.
Sorry, we're just trying to help because we went to college at a higher rate than these. Cut that.
Looking at Kamala's plan, don't see white men anywhere. So unless you disagree with Kamala,
It's time for unity against guys who look like this.
time to heal the relationship between us and Latinas.
This is what an article should look like, and this is what an article looks like now.
Great work, guys. Great shoot.
Oh, here we go. The problem with white men. It's 2016.
I hate being single.
Ryan Long, he don't miss. He don't miss.
Do you think it's possible that Corona is a response to not enough people submitting to Allah?
I don't believe in great Allah.
Oh, do you think that maybe is the problem, though, because you don't believe in him? Now all this is happening.
No, the world must end. This is part of it.
But if you submitted to Allah, couldn't this whole situation potentially have been avoided?
Either follow what is right or what is wrong.
Yeah, what is right? Submitting to obviously the great one.
But if you
Wayne Gretzky.
but if you believe in God,
I'm definitely not saying there's anything wrong with your God. It's
no,
definitely
I
the second or
understand
third best God for
no,
sure.
if you believe in my God, you wouldn't have nothing to worry about. So if he cries,
My God wouldn't cry. You're saying your God cries?
Jesus Christ
Cries.
C-H-R-I.
Allah would never be caught dead crying.
Never cries. My God always cries for people who do not want to repent.
My God doesn't even cry for those
Because
people.
he's not real God, that's why.
My God's too busy being a boss.
Yeah, that's the problem. What happened when your guy is only a boss?
But people might not want to listen to someone when he's like, you know, whatever. Who do you think would win in an arm wrestle of Muhammad versus Jesus?
There is no Muhammad. How can you put that?
Well,
Muhammad.
he might come back and take human form just to win an arm wrestle against your dude.
Well, you see the air?
Yeah.
You see the trees?
Well,
So
I
who
can say
created
the
it?
same thing though. Like, see that pole? Allah's work. See that hat?
Yeah.
Allah.
Have you ever killed someone?
No. I've killed pussy, obviously, but not.
So, what's going on here? Because it's there's a lot of layers. You know, it's deep. But he's basically he's pretending that he's Muslim, so he can have an argument with this other individual about religion, and yeah.
Which one do you think's better out of the two?
My question to you is,
7 inches.
God loves you more than anything. Love God more than anything. He's my everything. You know why?
Do you think the other gods are fake, like Vishnu, Buddha, Rob Lowe?
No.
Earlier Rob Lowe, obviously.
I mean, that's kind of weird for a number of reasons. It's obviously kind of strange if someone came up to you on the street and was like, "Hey, let's have a conversation." You're like, "Yeah, my dick's huge." And I also love in the fantasy, it's 7 inches is like my monster schlong.
I'm believing only God.
What about Buddha or?
No, I don't believe in none of that.
Buddha's nothing.
I'm
See, that
believing
guy's
only
scum.
God. I'm
That's what you think
believing
of him.
only God. Because Buddha not changing my life, but God,
Buddha
he
didn't do
changed
shit.
my life. I'm blessed all day, every day, every day.
All day, every day.
Every day, all day, I'm blessed.
You know who else is blessed?
Who?
Bernie Mac.
Who's that?
Some of my friends in like the Jewish community have been celebrating Yom Kippur.
That's like it's just weird though. You keep going down to your dick where you're talking to strangers on the street. It just seems like an odd play. I mean, I don't know. It's tough. I haven't been following the prank bro scene in some time. I just feel like this art form has really come such a long way, right?
And a lot of people were saying they should say Happy Holidays instead. Do you think that there is like a war on Yom Kippur happening?
No, not really. I think you should be specific to the holiday.
Well, a lot of people think it's insensitive to say Happy Yom Kippur because not everyone celebrates Yom Kippur.
Well, I think you have to know who you're talking to.
You don't think you should run around saying willy-nilly Happy Yom Kippur?
No.
Do you think that is accurate, that there were thousands of people coming up to him and saying you should say Happy Holidays, or do you think he's...
probably not.
Well,
I think
be careful.
It's tough. Obviously, the scripted comedy scene. He's been working in it for a while now, so he's been doing that whole thing. He's much worse at improv. This is like I didn't think it could be. I didn't think he could be worse at this than he is at writing scripted comedy scenes. But I was wrong. I was really wrong.
You accepting Christ, it makes you even more Jewish than before Christ.
Wow. All right.
What do you think about ableism in the porn industry and what they might be able to do to combat that?
The porn industry has a lot of problems in the sense that it creates stuff for what it thinks people want.
Yeah, they think people want like 2 arms, 2 legs, when a lot of people just haven't tried seeing a person get jerked off with someone that has 0 arms.
I think that there should be more.
Whew. So yeah, here's the setup. I'm gonna hit the streets. Gonna get a big old microphone on some duct tape, and then I'm going to bring up how it's funny that I talk about how people with disabilities don't make enough pornos. That'll be a good shtick, and people will take it seriously, because why would someone joke about that on the street on camera for lulz? So they'll probably just talk to me like we're having a normal conversation, and that'll be the whole bit. Because otherwise it would be really fucked up, right? Like it would be a weird thing to do, decidedly, but hey.
More of a place for non-conventional porn stars. So
there's one porn star that she's missing both her ears, and people said, oh, that's not going to work, but it actually worked fine. And if anything, it's like more aerodynamic, and she can sort of take more guys at once because she's moving around.
Absolutely.
She doesn't have the ears to get in the way.
Everyone has their kink, but I stick with more vanilla stuff.
Well, I think that's sort of the problem, is that it's considered a kink when that should just be considered the normal thing to do.
That's fair.
Right.
Yep.
Hey.
People go to porn to escape from the real world.
So you're saying they're trying to escape from people with no arms and no legs and walkers and stuff like that?
Chill, I think, if you're hot.
Or even if you're not.
Chill. Or even if you're not, yeah, totally, there's a space for everybody. There has to be some sort of like disability where like you need help to have sex.
Yeah, like even if they were there and their helper was like helping them insert or
like
whatever.
some sort of like a nurse. Have you seen that show, Love on the Spectrum? That's about that.
If they made, for example, gagging on the spectrum, that could be potentially something you're interested in?
If it was done well.
If it was done ethically.
Yeah, ethically. No.
I like it's one of those things, because I'm only a minute into this. I'm halfway done, and it just keeps sinking lower. It just like, you know, the bar is subterranean now. It's got its own culture and traditions. The bar is so low. There's like a whole religion started around it now. Just like a whole bunch of mole people who now praise it. It's wild.
What's the reason for that? Are you more traditional, meat and potatoes, arms and legs?
Pretty much so.
What if it was like a gangbang situation and only one of the persons had like missing limbs or?
For me, sex is very different from making love.
So if you were just throwing it down on one of these people, that
if I were in love, it wouldn't matter.
Well, honestly, if you're actually laying it down and she had full set of arms and legs or whatever, by the end, if you lay it down really hard, she might be missing them anyway.
That's an interesting thought, but I wouldn't be concerned about her limbs as much as I would be concerned about
the vagina or whatever if you're throwing it down that hard.
Emotional connection.
Have you ever had a girl that you were making passionate love to, and then afterwards she was walking funny, so sort of ended up having a disability because she had to walk funny for weeks after you had sex with her?
Maybe not a disability, but that means that probably the love making itself was pretty aggressive, and she may be hurting as a result of that.
Has that been a problem in the past?
That happens.
The girls have been experiencing pain after you had sex with them?
Yeah.
How often would you say that happens?
Oh, I don't know. I don't keep a tally.
What would you suggest for people that are laying it down like that, where the girl's in severe pain afterwards, like yourself?
There's been time when I've been chafed because she was extra dry, and we kept going.
Why was she dry if you were making love to her the way that you're saying you were?
Well, do with me, it has to do with her body. Some women just don't get as wet as others.
So you're saying it had nothing to do with you, that she was bone
dry? Right. She was just dry.
Did you go down on her first?
Well, this would happen after some time.
Okay, so this
You're a very interesting guy. You ask an interesting question.
Well, Ryan Long, 2 minutes.
Get as wet as others.
So
I'm inspired. I'm now going to do conservative comedy on the street. I've got a whole routine planned. What I'm going to do is I'm going to run up to people on the street who don't look like me, and I'm going to scream different at them at the top of my lungs while pointing at them. And I'm just going to do that over and over to every single person I find. I'm just going to point at them and scream different as loud as I can until they look at me and then get disturbed by it for the lulz and then run away. That'll be the whole thing, start to finish. And it's going to crush. It's going to crush. Hey, we want to mutual aid you to get some eyeballs on your work. So if you have a leftist YouTube channel or Twitch stream or something you want us to advertise, just send us a 20 to 30 second ad using the forums at weareserfs.com. We'll do our best to help you out. And please submit once per channel.
your gods, unwrapped, Xander Forbes. We shall build temples in your honor. To our monarch, Tom Spiker, we live to do your bidding. To our lords, Jeffrey Lamb, Trevor R., Stephen, Nine Tails Cosmic Fox, Aunt Josephine, Poppy Nelson, Ryan Lubin, Jimothy K. Meeble Beeps Jr. We bow meekly for your pleasure. And to our Knights of the Round Table, Josh Mickelson, Dylan Byte, Zach Christensen, Todd Buckingham, Todd Lajeunesse, Political Puppy, Ali Menthal, Jimmy Big Nuts, Andreas Chitoro, Good Poon Hits Cops, That's Solid Poon Then, Dr. Zayas, Joppy, Violent Orchard, Sophie Baby, Jack Darko, Thomas Barrington, J. Fraser Cartwright, Goofalankius, Melissa Murphy, Nicholas Marks, Alexander Thaler, Ramon Acosta, and Ali Retta Jaffer. We salute you. Love you all. Peace.